A photo is just a frozen moment in time. Or is it? We take photos to remember, to capture, to freeze time. But do they really show the truth, or just an illusion of it? A single click, and a moment is preserved forever. Or at least, that's what we like to believe. But the real question is, does a photo capture reality, or does it create a new one? Photography is one of humanity's greatest inventions. It allows us to document history, share experiences, and relive memories. But at its core, a photograph is nothing more than a combination of light and perspective. And yet, we give so much meaning to these frozen images, as if they hold a deeper truth about the world, about people, about ourselves. But can an image ever tell the full story? Or does it only offer a fragment, carefully framed and filtered by the eye behind the lens? A single image can trigger emotions in ways that words cannot. Neuroscientists have found that photos activate the amygdala, the part of our brain responsible for emotions. This is why nostalgia can hit so hard when we look at an old picture. It's not just a memory, it's a doorway back in time. Photography isn't just about seeing, it's about feeling. A photograph doesn't just show an image, it sparks something deeper inside us. Unlike words, which require interpretation and cognitive effort, an image hits us instantly. It bypasses logic and speaks directly to our emotions. But why do certain photos affect us more than others? Studies in psychology suggest that images associated with strong emotions, joy, sadness, love, loss, become ingrained in our minds. This is because the brain doesn't store memories like a video. Instead, it pieces together fragments, using emotions as glue. When we see a photo, it acts like a trigger, pulling out these fragments and reassembling them into an experience we can relive. Think about the last time you found an old childhood picture. For a split second, you weren't just looking at a photo. You were there again. The smell of the place, the way the air felt, the voices around you, they all seemed to return. But here's the unsettling truth. Your brain isn't actually replaying the past. It's reconstructing it. Every time we recall a memory, we unknowingly alter it. Details shift. Emotions intensify or fade. Neuroscientists have found that memory is not like a hard drive storing files. It's more like a storyteller, rewriting the narrative each time it's told. This means that our most cherished memories may not be as accurate as we think. So, when we look at a photo, is it bringing back the truth? Or is it giving us a reference point for a past that we've already reshaped? This is why the same photo can spark different emotions at different times in life. A picture of a childhood home may once have been a symbol of warmth and happiness, but years later, it might bring a sense of longing or even sadness. A family portrait might remind us of laughter, or it might remind us of how much things have changed. The emotions in a photo don't exist in the image itself. They exist in the person looking at it. And if that's the case, do we really remember moments the way they happened? Or do we only remember the way they look in photographs? Do photos capture reality? Or do they create it? What we see in a photo isn't always the full truth. The angle, lighting, and even the context behind the shot can change its meaning entirely. A smiling portrait may hide sadness. A staged photo can appear authentic. A camera captures light, but it doesn't always capture reality. We like to think that photos show the world as it is, that they capture a real objective moment in time. But photography is never truly objective. Every picture is a result of a choice: where to stand, what to focus on, what to exclude. A photograph is not reality. It is a version of reality. Take, for example, a group photo. Everyone is smiling. The moment seems perfect. But what the photo doesn't show is what happened before or after the shot. It doesn't show the arguments, the stress, the unspoken thoughts. The image presents a carefully selected fraction of a second, giving an illusion of happiness, even if the truth was more complicated. Philosophers like Roland Barthes have argued that photography is a paradox. It appears to document reality, but it also manipulates it. Think about historical images. A single war photo can become an iconic representation of an entire conflict, but it can never tell the whole story. A carefully cropped image can change the meaning of an event. A staged photograph can look authentic, while an authentic one can appear staged. Now, in the age of social media, this paradox is more extreme than ever. Instagram feeds are filled with images that look effortless, but they are carefully planned. Influencers create spontaneous moments that take hours to perfect. We see people traveling, smiling, living seemingly perfect lives. But what we don't see are the struggles, the insecurities, the realities behind those images. Have you ever looked at a friend's vacation pictures and felt like they were living a dream life? But what if, in reality, they were stressed, exhausted, or even unhappy during that trip? Social media has turned photography into a tool, not just for capturing memories, but for crafting identities. So the question isn't just, what does a photo show? But what does it hide? And if every image is a selective version of reality, can we ever trust what we see? Photos give us the illusion of permanence. They make moments last forever, but the people, emotions, and places within them are constantly changing. Every time we take a picture, we believe we are capturing a moment in time, preserving it in a way that ensures it will never fade. But what if that moment has already changed the second the camera clicks? When you take a photo, you're not capturing the moment as it truly is. You're freezing a fraction of time, a sliver of reality. And then, like a butterfly pinned to a board, it remains exactly as it was in that instant, completely untouched. But the rest of the world? It keeps moving. The people in the photo keep aging. The places around them evolve. The emotions that were felt in that instant dissipate and are replaced with new ones. Look at an old picture of yourself. At first, it may feel like it was just yesterday. The smile, the clothes, the background, it all looks so familiar. But take a moment to really look at it. That version of you seems so close, yet it's so far away. That person, frozen in the frame, is not who you are today. Your thoughts, your experiences, your growth, they've shifted over time. You've changed. In fact, you're no longer the person you were when that picture was taken. And yet, the photograph doesn't show that. It shows a moment that's forever anchored in the past, frozen in time, untouched by everything that's happened since. There's a certain beauty in this illusion, but there's also a deep sadness. The moment we capture on film may feel eternal, but nothing in this world truly is. The people in the photo will age. The laughter, the energy, the feelings that were present at that time will gradually fade away as we move forward in life. In that sense, a photograph is like a memory that has been preserved, but without the ability to truly relive the essence of that moment. It's an echo, a mere shadow of what once was. But perhaps that's what makes photographs so powerful. When we look at an old photo, it's not just about what's in the image, it's about what's missing. We don't just see the people, the places, or the events. They represent what's been lost. Maybe we're looking at a family gathering where the people in the picture aren't all with us anymore. Or perhaps it's a moment in our own lives when we were innocent, unaware of the challenges and lessons that would come later on. The people in the photograph, are they still the same? We can't help but wonder how life has unfolded for them since that day. And when we look at our younger selves, we often feel the weight of what has changed. We were once full of hope, excitement, or curiosity about the future. But the future came, and with it, change. A photograph is both a gift and a reminder. It allows us to hold on to something we know we will never experience again. But it also reminds us that time is relentless. The illusion of permanence that a photo gives us stands in stark contrast to the reality that everything is in flux. The people we love, the places we visit, the way we look, the feelings we have, they're all evolving. And yet, when we look at a photograph, we get to momentarily convince ourselves that nothing has changed. But the photograph forces us to face the truth. Time waits for no one. No matter how hard we try to stop it, we're all just moving through time, one moment at a time. From family albums to social media, we document our lives obsessively. But why? We take photos of everything in our lives, the big moments and the small ones, our meals, our travels, our friends, our pets, our favorite places, and sometimes just a moment that catches our attention. But have you ever stopped to ask yourself why we feel the need to document every single thing? We tell ourselves that we take photos to preserve memories, to make sure we don't forget the important moments. But is that really the full story? We take pictures to remember, but perhaps there's something deeper happening here. What if we take photos because we're afraid of time slipping away from us? What if, without them, our memories would become fuzzy, blurred by the passage of years? A photo serves as a tangible anchor to the past. It's like a safeguard against the inevitable erasure of details, a way to hold on to the faces and moments that are slowly fading from our daily lives. Without photos, memories can become distorted, fragmented, incomplete. We take photos to help our memories stay sharp, clear, and vivid, frozen in time, as though the photograph somehow grants us immortality over the experiences that make us who we are. But perhaps there's a flip side to this obsession. Have you ever been at a wedding, or a concert, or on a vacation, only to spend more time recording the event than actually participating in it? You're focused on getting the perfect shot, making sure every moment is captured. But in the process, are you missing the point of the experience itself? The act of photographing can sometimes take us out of the present moment. It can shift our focus from living the moment to capturing the moment. And in doing so, we lose sight of the very thing we're trying to preserve. Maybe we've become so obsessed with documenting life that we've forgotten how to truly live it. Instead of fully experiencing a concert, we're focused on recording it for future nostalgia. Instead of savoring a conversation, we're snapping pictures of the meal we're sharing. In an attempt to preserve the present, we may actually be taking ourselves out of it. The irony here is that by trying to capture everything, we might end up missing out on the magic of the moments themselves. A photograph can't capture the sensation of laughter, the sound of music, or the warmth of a hug. But these are the things that make life meaningful. A photo is more than just an image. It's a psychological trigger, a philosophical paradox, and a piece of frozen time that carries meaning beyond what we can see. At the end of the day, we take photos to remember. We take them to preserve memories, to hold on to the things we cherish, and to tell the story of our lives. But here's the question. In doing so, are we really capturing life as it is, or are we just trying to hold on to something that was never meant to last? Photography is both a gift and a paradox. It allows us to hold on to the past, but it also reminds us that we cannot stop time. No matter how many photos we take, No matter how many moments we try to preserve, time will always march on. The people, the places, the feelings, they'll change. And one day, the photograph we hold so dear will be nothing more than a faint memory, just like the moment it captured. Maybe the greatest lesson photography teaches us is this: life isn't meant to be frozen, it's meant to be lived. And while photos can help us remember, it's the lived moments themselves that truly matter.